So just a quick disclaimer off the bat, the following video is part of a longer form video that I do every Monday. I decided to cut this part out and turn it into its own video as I thought it was an interesting section. If you want to see the full uncut video, links will be down in the description, but without further ado, here is the video. So with Sony claiming that the acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft can lead to anti-competitiveness, Xbox for their part did not take that lying down. In fact, they came out pretty aggressively against it and made a few points that I thought were good and a few that I thought were not. Microsoft claims that by adding Activision Blizzard content to Xbox Game Pass will actually increase competition somehow. The inclusion of Activision Blizzard content in Xbox Game Pass does not impair the ability of other players to compete in the digital gaming distribution market, claimed Microsoft in one document, where the company also argues that it can increase the competition thanks to high quality content at lower immediate cost. Now, one thing that I will definitely say here is the fact that it will definitely bring prices down. By Xbox making things cheaper, it will force others to do the same. I know that there are some who will say that doing this by Microsoft is going to mean that it could lead to other developers losing profits, and as such the quality of games will be dropping, but I do think that that is a crazy take. These developers like EA and Rockstar and Sony makes billions. A fraction of that actually goes into game development. These companies have screwed all of us over the years with massive microtransactions, loot boxes and deluxe versions of their games that cost $200. By forcing them to lower their prices and stop these practices, in my opinion, is nothing but positives. The article also states Microsoft also argues that not distributing games like Call of Duty at rival console stores would simply not be profitable for the company. Microsoft has previously made it clear that it will keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Microsoft says that the strategy of not distributing Activision Blizzard games on rival consoles would only be profitable if the game could attract a high number of players over to the Xbox ecosystem, resulting in revenue to compensate for losses from not selling these titles on rival consoles. But at the end of the day, all of this does circle back once again and tie into cloud gaming and also Xbox Game Pass. As I have stated, Xbox is working on a very real strategy here and trying to break away from normal game sales in favor of subscriptions, and one analyst per Game Rant has a very interesting prediction about where all of this can lead. The past decade has seen Microsoft move away from the classic console gaming strategy of providing exclusive games in favor of promoting its Xbox Game Pass subscription service. Xbox Game Pass has been touted as the Netflix for video games, and it seems that Microsoft's ultimate goal for the service is to bring it in as many platforms as possible. In fact, Microsoft is even trying to make Xbox Game Pass available to those who do not have a console or PC at all, as evidenced by the aggressive cloud gaming efforts. And again, all of this ties back to what I said earlier. Microsoft is changing the way that games are being sold, and it will eventually lead to some interesting changes for the gaming space as a whole. There is always going to be a way to buy games for those who do not want to make use of this monthly type of commitment, but services is going to be the most affordable way of doing things. The article does continue here. Besides making Xbox Game Pass as easily accessible as possible, Microsoft has also made it a must buy for anyone who owns an Xbox console. Xbox Game Pass receives new games on a regular basis, including brand new day one releases that makes it practically pay for itself. It seems that the sky is the limit for Xbox Game Pass, and one analyst thinks that the service will explode in popularity once the major acquisitions go through. Now, this is something that I agree with, and judging by how hard Sony is working to block this deal, it seems that they must be feeling the exact same way. Analyst Michael Patcher believes that the combination combination of Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard and the cloud gaming making Xbox Game Pass available to anyone with a screen handy will make the server subscriber count grow exponentially. Speaking to Yahoo Finance, Patcher predicted that the number of Xbox Game Pass subscribers could potentially balloon from roughly 25 million it has now to a staggering 100 million. And once again, I touched on this earlier, but that is exactly the plan here, and I can definitely see Xbox pulling off those type of numbers once cloud gaming are more readily available. Right now there are still drawbacks to cloud gaming, and that is the fact that not everyone has the internet speed for it, but once Xbox has released the app worldwide, the numbers for Xbox will grow exponentially. Xbox also right now does have enough first party support to sustain the service, but they will also be heavily dependent on the Activision Blizzard deal to go through. The article does go on to say here, this might seem like an unobtainable goal on the service, but Patcher points out that the potential market for Xbox Game Pass is going to be over 3 billion people after cloud gaming really takes off. Anyone with access to a phone will be able to sign up for Xbox Game Pass and play it through Xbox cloud gaming services, and by completely eliminating the need for a console or PC, Game Pass significantly increases the number of potential subscribers. Now that last part is a little bit off. Like I mentioned, the issue is not accessing, the issue is internet speed. I might have a phone, I might have Game Pass, but that does not mean that I can play games on the cloud. I don't think that their market is 3 billion strong, but I definitely think that it will be a lot bigger than it is now, and it is something that this article also points out. However, it is unclear exactly when this will happen. Cloud gaming is not nearly at the point where it is viable, attractive to traditional gaming on console or PC. While Game Pass cloud gaming functionality has earned some praise, it can't quite match up to playing a game that is downloaded on one's console. There is definitely a need for some major improvements to cloud gaming experience before it will be appealing to a massive audience, but once that technology gets here, it is easy to see how Xbox Game Pass will be an attractive option. Most hardcore gamers will always opt for the traditional method of playing due to the higher resolutions, but it is also worth pointing out that most people are not hardcore gamers. That is evident by how many people play mobile games. By tapping into that market, it is definitely going to be a huge advantage for any platform or developer who chooses to make use of it. One thing is clear though, and that is the fact that the gaming landscape over the next 10 years will look drastically different than it looks today.